So, I'd like to display some knowledge into this factor. First off, your Jordans are completely fake. Number two, I forgot. And that's kind of it because that's how the story goes. You know what? Screw it. I'm singing Think of It. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out the lyrics, but who knows? Maybe I could, maybe I'm not. Who knows, to be honest? I mean, life is stereotypical, historical, and mostly tropical. Now, let's get into our story. Now, recently, these might actually be nuts. Now, to the reason why we have this storyline completed in is in the first place. The first place to explain it, we have to get from the cheese. The cheese said that the coffee clan recently attacked the cheese clan due to their financial problems. They had to take all the money away from them. But unfortunately, the cheese clan resist. But the coffee clan fought back. They both fought back into each other's war, thus beginning the Great War of D's. Well, we had go have to find Raiden from Metal Gear Rising for some reason. He told us he knows the key to Joe, but
Hey,
nobody told me.
dude.
Oh
Then
my god!
everything
Oh,
changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
the goat's here!
Oh hey, it's the
Yay!
Dubber.
Yay! Yay! It's the guy that drew the Juan Diego fan art. That was actually really cool, by the way.
Oh hey, it's the Dubber.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh hey, it's the Dubber.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off the stream. You guys probably can't hear me that well though.
The echoing. I was wondering why that happened.
Kodaga.
Hello.
Luckily,
Okay,
yeah.
stream.
Sorry, can't.
Hello, my name is minus YT, and I've considered
Baffling.
baffling.
Baffling
How are
YT
you
is truly
guys?
baffling. We are doing well. Thank you for asking in this lovely podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for
This is
tuning in
nice.
to
I can
TMC
interview you, but
Radio.
never enough.
What? Sorry, I couldn't really hear you.
Me?
Yes.
Yes. I've been interviewed, but I've never been in a podcast. This is nice.
Yes. Yeah, this is not your average podcast. Random things can happen, but I have to make sure we're sticking to the topic. Otherwise, it kind of goes
What
chaos.
is the topic?
The topic for today.
Okay.
Hmm. Well, I'm
We
just gonna
never
Schrodinger's
have a
introduce
topic.
topic.
what?
Maybe the topic can be about video games. I don't know. I'm kind of tired.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that could be the case. I also like to recently discuss some things. Ac- I also wanted to share this to you too. Let me just get it real quick. Baffling YT. So you know that sprite art I made of you yesterday. Well, I recently decided I'm just gonna make a
Yes,
whole
that was
sprite sheet for
sick.
you.
I loved it.
I know. Yeah, I made another one. I'm just editing out like some
What?
Fall Guy sprite sheet and to make like customize it.
Is that me?
Yes, that is you.
Jeez, I look like me, but just more medieval.
Yes, that's true. More
Fun
medieval,
fact: I have
more
a cape.
yeah. Oh, we have a cape. Oh shoot, I never really thought of that. That's surprising. But
That's why I have
yes,
that little bandana. I tied, I tied it to my neck so I would have a cape.
yes. Oh,
To
well,
this day,
have
I'm
you?
still wondering how Superman lost to Batman.
Superman?
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Gohan? Oh, I was gonna say. Now let me
Batman.
ask a question. Did anyone watch the Sonic movie, the third one?
I did.
What about you, Trey?
I
I
did it.
haven't. I
Come,
haven't.
Mr. Exister, have you
I
seen the
haven't seen the
Sonic 3
Sonic movie
movie?
3 because
There's an Akira bike
tickets were
slide
out.
in it.
It is really peak. I'm obviously not gonna spoil it, but it's really amazing.
It's much better than Mid Plaza.
I don't have an orb and
Yeah, Mufasa's mid.
Disney just take the L.
Like, I'm gonna be real, I'm not
I
a
can't.
diehard Sonic. Oh,
Okay, guys. When was the last time you saw an animated Disney movie? Like no 3D, just 2D.
5 years ago,
uh,
Lion King and a half. The one with Timon and Pumbaa.
uh.
Yes, that is. The last one I seen was Lilo and Stitch. This man's still thinking. 'Cause there's not any anymore. Disney only wants to do 3D. We don't need 3D anymore. 3D is actually pretty bad.
We must
Well, it's
go
not
to
bad because we have
4D.
Spider-Man. But I'm tired of 3D. I think 40 is human. Like, it's just too realistic. I want to go back to Tom and Jerry. I want to go back to cartoons.
We must go back to
Actually, like, all we
1D.
see is
So true. It's clockwork,
I
the
don't even
god
think.
of time.
Just, I just,
Well, it is too
I
bad
just
that
never see. I just never see 2D movies. There's only 3D. Like everything's 3D.
yeah,
Holy
because
poopity dippity.
3D is the more popular style nowadays. Don't nobody want to sit there for like 10 plus years and animate a 2D movie, bro. Come on.
I mean,
But I'm not gonna lie, 2D is so much better. It's really so much better than 3D because you could do more stuff with 2D, bro. Like
okay,
let me ask you a question: all the good anime fight scenes were those 3D or 2D?
I'm
2D.
about to spoil Sonic 3 because like that had a really dope fight scene.
It was all
So like
2D.
if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to leave like right now.
All right, as I was gonna say here, do sprite animations technically count as 2D animation?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
because pixel animation is pretty much 2D. Wait, so
Yeah,
are
because
you
I
like
always
just making little stuff of me?
what?
Me personally,
Are you
I'm
just
more of a
making
3D
little?
guy. I animate like Roblox Studio with Moon Animator, and I use
Yeah.
Blender for some of it.
Honestly, I'm not that surprised you have a Roblox PSP, and Roblox is 3D.
Yeah, Fort Founding Kitchen.
Mordecai. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, seriously, I think we all have our opinions.
Okay, you can. Ooh, my God, that's a good PFP. My
I
my bean brethren finally touching grass after 45 million years.
beans. I recently got into Fall Guys due to the Among Us and Fall Guys death battle, but I actually found out how fun the game is.
Tis the death battle curse.
I'm not gonna lie. All guys has got to admit after the years.
I started like Fall Guys. I also, it was I think it's starting to like an interesting game. Though they could add some maps that could be challenging.
They could add some more
I mean,
things.
I made a PvP map in there, so that's cool, I guess.
I mean, I almost got into Fall Guys when they had the Stitch outfit.
Did you
Yeah, I
ever chicken?
speak
Could you repeat
speaking of the
that?
Stitch outfit, I saw the Stitch emote. I was gonna buy it, but I bought the Ninja Turtles emote instead. And gonna be real, I think I kind of regret spending my show bucks on the emote instead of the Stitch dance.
Billy, big.
Like seriously, I thought it was pretty cool. Coolio, 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 coolio. Yeah, that's kind of it. Besides, oh yeah,
I'm
that
trying to
art
figure out
is
how to get a
amazing.
PFP.
This is the best one. Yes, I can be serious.
You can play
I
with
mean,
the special selection.
Thank you. I tried trying to do different shades. I went out of lazy. Yeah. By the way, I did this when I was sleepy, like I am right now.
Mordecai and Rigby back at it again at the white bands.
Why did the regular show season have to end? Well, as they say, every good thing has to come to an end, and I guess this is our time. So say
All
goodbye,
good things must
farewell,
end.
and we'll see you on the other.
All good things must end, I said. If all good things must end, then why hasn't One Piece ended yet?
Oh my God, is he wearing a sombrero or is he wearing a a, a
I thought it was a
sheriff's hat?
fedora.
Yeah,
By
that's what I
this
call it. Is he
logic
wearing
of
a
all good
sombrero?
things, by the logic
Oh,
of all good things come to an end, then General Hospital must be mid-AF.
all right. So I was at. Oh yeah. Actually, that's a good question. Violet, something to start the topic for this podcast. The question is Juan
That
Diego
was
wearing
gonna
a
be
some?
awesome.
I was gonna say yeah. Hey, I'm gonna mute your mic real quick so I can speak clearly. Wait, why can I not? Okay. So as I was gonna say. Oh, sorry, I just had to do it real quick. Anyways, so as I was gonna say, for that question, if Juan Diego's wearing a sombrero or a cowboy hat, originally I was making it a cowboy hat, but it looked weird to a sombrero. But but I,
Sombrero.
but but
By
I
the
decided to
logic of
make it
all
a
good
cowboy
things
hat.
come to an end, General Hospital must be mid-AF.
All right, so I was at. Oh yeah, actually that's a good question. To
Violet,
be
something
fair,
to start the
yeah, you actually have a good point because like it kind of does actually look like a sombrero, and when you look at it, it's like, hey, is that a sombrero? But no, it's a cowboy hat. Because when I'm first drawing Juan Diego, I was trying to go for like a cowboy Spanish person, but I wanted to draw the hat, but I'm not really good at drawing the cowboy hat, so I just did what I do with best my knowledge, and I drew that. That's his hat.
Interesting.
Yeah. Juan Diego's also my backup plan in the future in case I ever get sued by Nintendo or the Pokemon Company. Because if they try to sue me, I'll just immediately just shut down my channel and I'll restart as Juan Diego and they'll never know.
Okay, as a Fall Guys player and a Fall Guys fan, I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Fall Guys guy.
What is the name of his being counterpart, or is that him, or is that just a different person?
Oh, his counterpart? I never really got to think of that. But Juan Diego's his Among Us name, but I never thought of it for his Fall Guys counterpart. Being
I
Diego?
think it should
No.
be something. Hmm,
Somebody like what?
I think I think it should be something cute, but like I don't think it should be anything Mexican like. Just something cute and silly.
I mean,
Hmm.
Juan Diego's supposed to be Spanish and Scottish, but all right.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm thinking about something that starts with a B. Hmm.
Being Diego? No, that's too generic.
Nah. Oh, I got it.
Being
Burrito.
Yo, wait, that's actually really good. That's that's actually a good idea.
Burrito Dora.
Burrito
Yes.
Dora.
Ooh, yeah.
That is actually really good names for Juan
Okay.
Diego
I'm,
and a Burrito Dora. That is actually really good.
Juan Diego and Dorito,
Bur-
the dream team.
yes, Burrito Dora.
The
I
ultimate. We got the sheriff, got the deputy.
yeah, the greatest. I was also gonna say this as an announcement. I was think while I was working on the goofballs, I suddenly had the motivation to make the Juan Diego series early, but I wanted to wrap up the goofballs first. But I also like to confirm this: the Juan Diego series will not be animated, unfortunately. As I want to make the back, as much as I want to make it animated, it might be a little bit hard to draw like backgrounds for the Among Us characters and get their whole details and
Hmm.
everything. Unless I can hire an animator to animate it. The other problem is will be voice
Me.
actors and all the other team. Oh, what?
Me.
Wait, for voice acting or for animating?
Both.
That could be good. But as I was continuing, I was thinking about just making the whole lore for Juan Diego like a book. You know, like a book. Yeah, a book.
Like a comic book.
Yeah, like a comic, but it would just only have like one picture for like some pages. Because like I don't know how to make a digital book, but it'll just be like a note, I guess. But it'll have like images to describe what's going on, and that's kind of it. And it would just be on full on lore. So like, and then for versus debating the character, you probably just have to. It'll probably I'll have to make it detailed to describe it more often. And that's kind of it. Because otherwise, how are you gonna tell? But yeah, the difference. So that's my confirmation. Either Juan
I
Diego will be
mean, a
animated
visual
by
novel could
Baffling,
also work.
or wait, what?
I mean, a visual novel could also work.
What's a visual novel?
It, one moment.
Maybe you could do like just little. Maybe you could do like just just make like like a comic. You should just make like little just pictures, like just little
Yeah,
pictures with like tech boxes and what's going on. You should just do little stuff like that. Not make a
yeah.
whole comic.
I was thinking about that too. That could be another. That's another good idea. Really, truly agreeing. Because then
Okay,
you
so you know what Doki Doki Literature Club?
a little bit. Why?
Yeah, that's a visual novel.
Oh,
You know,
all
with
right.
like different sprites and a text box, and sometimes detailed pictures.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah. All right.
Oh, so you like have one
I
character?
mean,
So you have like one character sprite at the top, and you have a text box at the bottom on what they're saying.
Yeah, I guess that could work. But
yeah,
what about
it worked well for Umineko when it came to power scaling.
okay? But what about like fight scenes? What about fight scenes? What about those kind of stuff? I was thinking about that too. Because like I wanted to add a little fight scenes for the series. Since Juan Diego's whole main gimmick for him is supposed to be like a Spanish sheriff, so how am I gonna make it like fight scenes for those kind of visual novels?
I could,
I mean, there's occasionally
you could do
high
like
quality
Reddit.
pics in there that
Wait,
can be
one
used.
at a time, one at a time. Sorry, you go first.
Who?
FLYT, go first. Go first.
Okay. So at first I was gonna say something about animation, but I was like, nah, because he's making a buck. And I was like, have you ever seen like Captain Underpants? If you're gonna add like fight scenes, you should do like something called Flipperama where, they can go back and forth between a page and you're like moving the character while they're punching or moving. Something like that. So if can I call the little green among us Diego if that's okay?
Yeah, you could call him Juan for short.
Okay, so like if Quan's punching something like the enemy or shooting something, you could have two different pages. If it's like something with keyboard or a phone, they could swipe or just press left and right to see Quan just shoot a gun or just punch somebody like a flipperama. Like they go back and forth, something like that.
That could be an amazing reference to one of my childhood books. Yes, I would love the idea. I'll keep it for now. All right, back. All right, Mr. Exister, your turn.
I mean, there's often parts in, like visual novels where there's like high quality pictures that can show certain scenes better, and they could work with the fight scenes.
All right, that's good. My last resort, if I was considering those, because those comic duds on YouTube, like they show an image of each like page or like each frame, and they just add sound effects to it. Like the Mew and Mewtwo comics, for example. You know those my by
I mean,
TC96. They have
you can do something similar with visual novels.
yeah. That I was gonna say that could be the same cause too. But then again, I was wanting to make it more writing more than less pictures. Because like I don't want to make it a full on animation or animated thing. Because like I hate drawing backgrounds sometimes. And if it's gonna take place in Spain, bro, I can't draw the entire city of Spain with just a phone.
I
A
mean,
professional.
you need like a couple of backgrounds for like a visual novel, and they're also mostly text based, so they can work well with your plan on having it being more about the writing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's another good idea. Yeah, I like it. Pretty pretty good idea for Juan Diego's lore. So like so yeah, that could be a good idea. So like after I finish the goofballs, then I can like consider holding the Mewtwo's Life series canon and pause and finish Juan Diego's lore. Cause like I already have a lot of characters planned for the whole series, and I thought of the first pilot episode, and I think it'd be cool if I just announced some of it, like if I just reenact it. So just let me try my best to remember and describe. So here we go. Here it is. Just a little sneak peek for my words. In in a world where beings exist in this vastly time space continuum, there is one dimension particular in this whole reality, and that is part of Binala. Binala is a planet where it's the same world as Earth, but only among us beings that exist throughout this world. They are they have advanced like human like people, and they are more advanced for their society. Oh, hang on, give me a second. Wait. As I was gonna say, yeah. So let me get back to the series. In in the series, the sneak peek, and later in the middle of in the desert, a base kept in secret under a mountain, a military base. They are hidden. They are looking. They are guarding notorious what's it called, artifacts and relics. There is one artifact in particular that is inside this military base, the reality ruby. The reality ruby can manipulate reality throughout if caused with too much power. It can destroy the entire planet itself if someone possessed the power. The military discovered this weapon a long time ago, so the beings must figure out what to do. They're also known as the BOS. A spaceship, a space. One of the captain. His name is Jimmy. The Jimmy. The captain looks on guard. He notices a spaceship approaching them. They think it's the drop-off ship for the supplies, but when they realize the ship doesn't look familiar to their drop-off ship, they get suspicious. They use their binoculars to look closer. Once they realize the spaceship is actually not theirs, they set the guards to fire immediately. They fire it. The ship goes down. It falls to the ground, landing on a little mountain rock. The spaceship explodes, and but then when the smoke all clears, a cyber a cyan among us being with cybernetics, half skin, half the skin, but half robot. It stares at the base. The general. I'm sorry about that. Did anyone hear that alarm?
What?
Did anyone hear that? I'm sorry. Hang on.
Am I still muted?
Crap. Give me a second. Sorry, I was. I forgot. I forgot to turn off that stupid timer. Uh, hello.
That
Can
was
anyone
good.
hear
So
me?
yes,
I can
Oh
sorta.
crap! I think my mic broke.
I can hear you.
Give me a second. Sorry, I'm
Now
just
I
gonna
can
restart real
hear
quick.
you. Okay. Hmm. Want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
What's called the name of the best. Okay. You know the Do you know
So,
what the name of the best ice cream is?
the name of the best ice cream?
Yeah. Do you know it?
I don't know the name of the ice cream. Sorry about that.
Legendary.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Legendary. Sounds interesting. What is it? Flavor?
Yes.
Legendary.
It's like a little joke.
Oh, really clever. That's actually pretty interesting. Did anyone also hear the story I was doing for the sneak peek or no?
I believe I heard most of it.
Yeah, sorry because I forgot to turn off a timer I
I heard
set
the
up
whole thing.
a long time ago, and it muted my entire stream, so I had to restart and refresh for this. So yeah. So as I was saying, I won't continue it a lot, but I'll just try to continue the story. But yeah, I'll just get it. So from now we know the reality ruby. Anyone knows the reality ruby, like manipulate reality and destroy a planet. Now let me get back to the cyborg thing. So we introduced this character named Rodrigo. He looks at the general and the army that are facing behind the base or in front of the base, guarding the ruby in their vault. Rodrigo, Rodrigo just stares at them. One of the soldiers begins to fire early. It hits Rodrigo, but it reflects off immediately, like a shield. Rodrigo slowly walks towards the base. The general shouts the men to fire at him. Once they once they fire all their best weapons, lasers, bullets, rockets, and tanks shooting at him, Rodrigo seems indestructible. When they launch a missile, it hits him directly. The big giant smoke of gust surround them. They think they succeeded, but when a blue glowing light erupts from the ground, it dashes towards them and strikes the tanks, destroying the army in one kaboom. It destroys the ground, digging through like a cave. Rodrigo recovers and enters the vault. He takes down the two guards with hammers. It snaps their neck immediately. He heads to the vault. He grabs the reality ruby. He puts it in his cybernetic hand, transporting it like a pocket. He walks slowly back, making sure there's no one else behind him. He looks and he says he succeeds. He finally did it. But then they didn't know. The the general before the general died along with the army, he sent an emergency call to Juan Diego, who was the sheriff at the time. He was known for his best He is now known as the best sheriff in Binala in this planet, and he was their only hope, along with his friends. They are called the Amigos. Once the emergency call received, Juan Diego realizes that there is a bigger threat more than the average criminals he's been facing. So he prepares, he gets his gears. He gets his gear, he tells his friends to meet up in the military base where they were destroyed. to get the emergency call. Right, but now we head back to Rodrigo. Rodrigo gets it, flies back out to the sky, disappearing, and that's where it begins. So I'm finished with the sneak peek. So far, I that's just what I'm thinking, but it might be changed in the future. But that's what it's gonna look like for now. So what do y'all think of it?
I
It was
really
great.
like it. It's good. It's great. It's
Also,
great so far.
oh, you can go first.
Mm, huh, uh, I think it was good. I like how I like how it sounded like he was just killing everybody, and I like stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I like the start of that so far.
Yeah, the
And then
cyborg.
that that that's all I have to. That's all.
What about you, Mr. Sister? What do you think?
That was great. And I'm just curious, was the Reality Ruby inspired by the Phantom Ruby from the Sonic series?
I know nothing about the Phantom Ruby. I just thought of the name, the Reality Ruby. Why is it similar to it?
Well, I mean, it's similar, though it instead causes illusions.
Oh, because like the Reality Ruby in this verse, it's not part of the TMC verse. It's a whole different dimension and universe from it. So it's like a
But is it
trans.
part of the multiverse?
It's it's part of the multiverse, but it's a different multiverse that transcends the TMC verse. So it's not part of it, but it transcends that. So it's like it's infinitely higher than it. Since they
So
were
it
created.
sees the TMC verse as fiction?
Well, not sure how this
Oh,
works.
I'm gonna go sleep. So yeah.
All right. Good night, Baffling. It
Thank
was nice to have you here.
Good night.
you too. Thank you, YouTube channel, for having me here. This was actually really
De
fun.
nada.
I'll next stream, and I'm gonna go have a good nap.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches, amigo. So yeah, as I
So,
was saying,
so if the Juan Diego multiverse transcends the TMC multiverse, wouldn't that make like Juan Diego low complex by default?
now I'm not trying to make Juan Diego like really powerful compared to TMC,
We're not
but
making a when they cry
no.
scenario.
So yeah, I know. Like when they cross over, low complex. Well,
Oh, I
yeah.
was talking like when they cry, like a visual novel series that has
Oh,
like outer characters.
oh. Originally, I was planning Juan Diego to be a lot around like multi-solar system level or galaxy level, since or planet level. I think multi-solar system level would be a good level for Juan Diego, since I didn't want him to be too powerful, like Stu Scaling. I want him to be like a level where it fits in best, because there is something in the future where I want to do it. So yeah, that's kind of it.
So, well, I think it would be overall better if in Juan Diego's multiverse, it's at the same level of existence at TMC's multiverse, but TMC's story is like like a type of book video thing in Juan Diego's multiverse, like a form of fiction.
Yeah, there could. I was also thinking about like there could be like myths and legends, like urban legends and myths. Yeah, they could say that could exist possibly, like ancient stories. But yeah, if Juan Diego ever gets here, I say he'd probably be 3B or 3A. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think 3B might fit in better. But if I want to do it, just 3A, then that's it. But 3B might be better, in my opinion. So yeah. But yeah, so for this thing, the TMC verse may have gone first from our perspective, but there are other dimensions that are different from him, like the infinite multiverse of the Among Us and of the Bean Nala. Hang on, let me type that. See how you say it, how you pronounce it. Bean Nala. That's the planet name, Bean Nala. You
Like
know, like
Valhalla?
I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's Bean is like the planet. It's like the same thing as Earth, but the dimension name is called Bean because there's no humans. There's only Among Us beings. The Fall Guys beings are also part of this, but they're on the other side of the planet. Like like a border, like a cross section. But the Among Us and Fall Guys beings came together in peace. So they respect each other's species and they understand each other. So that's the other part. So you may expect to see a little bit of Fall Guy characters in the Juan Diego series.
Hmm.
But overall, for that, yeah, they were also created before the TMC verse existed. So like they're like a higher version of them, but they're unaware that his multiverse exists. They just know that theirs exists for now. Otherwise, it'd be different from their whole entire space continuum. But yeah, that's kind of it.
So there's like a higher layer of time that affects the entirety of the multiverses.
Well, it only affects their multiverse, but it doesn't affect the TMC multiverse. So, but if TMC does something, like
No, I
the
mean like
Infernal
a
Scream,
sort of timeline that has a certain time set for certain events, like the birth of a multiverse per se.
like the birth.
Yeah, like the creation of new multiverses, like how Juan Diego's multiverse came before TMC's multiverse.
That's true. That's very true. I think I'm trying to understand it. It could maybe hypothetically and theoretically, the Big Bang theories. Yeah, it could be like
Bazinga.
that. Nice reference. Yeah, it could be like the Big Bang, like everything just created all of a sudden, and yeah, they exist.
Hmm.
But I was thinking about the Juan Diego story could take place during the Among Us timeline, because I would also have like actual canons to references to the Skeld, Mira HQ, the Polis, the fungi, and mostly the airship maybe. So they would be possibly part of it, as to make it look like they're part of part of the part of the actual Among Us timeline, like to fit through the lore. But I'm not trying to get canon. It's just like supposed to be like a spin-off, like an alternative take. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Because for this, it would be like Polis is an actual planet, which we already know that. They and the Skeld is like an actual ship, and they actually do like research for space. Mirage Q is an actual building in a story, so maybe like a research lab. And the airship could be like, hang on, I just realized, is Henry Stigman and Among Us canon to each other due to the airship stuff?
I believe so, as well as Polis, since a stick figure in the Henry Stickmin series is said to have won a contest to get a planet named after him.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I think there was a character in the collection that said that Polis, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that could make that. Oh, so they are technically connected. So yeah, the airship would make sense. And
mm,
Fungi, the new map, the fungi map, the
yeah.
parasites or something. Yeah, that could be canon too for that. But there are other expandable series. So that one transcends the TMC verse. So that's why TMC knows his other multiverses, but he's not aware of the among the Binala um time space continuum. So he knows every dimension except that. That's gonna be the canon fact.
So is are is like, do all the dimensions in that TMC know of form like a certain multiverse, and Juan Diego's multiverse is like separate of that multiverse?
Yes, they are supposed to be separate. That's what they're officially saying. The TMC verse and the Binala time space continuum are supposed to be separate. Since they're not supposed to be the same, they're supposed to be separate since they have separate species and creatures.
Okay. So does that mean there's a multiverse in there where the exact events in real life happened?
Like real life?
Yeah, like this event right now, that could happen in a multiverse, right?
Hmm. Well, maybe I say like a what can I say? A variant of it, but unsure. I'm new to this stuff again, you know.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
gets confusing.
yes. I mean, planets, yes, planets pretty cool. And if you ever just in the future, if you ever just see Mewtwo, TMC Mewtwo and Juanito just interact, that's just a little gag as they don't really know each other, but they're just like there
So
for
it's
little gags.
non-canon?
Yeah, it's just non-canon technically. They're just little gags. Like
Okay.
you know that Freebirds YTP entry I did? Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
gag, and it's not canon, obviously. Because how the hell does he how did he get a fight turkey? I seriously wish why I made that. It's goofy, so it's like a gag. It's non-canon to the story, and if it was, that would be really weird. Because then otherwise he would just it'd be saying that he just hallucinated, but it's non-canon, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of it for you.
Hmm.
I also wanted to mention, I don't know if I did this matchup correctly because I was researching with the animator that did Leonardo versus Jaden Shiba. Did I do the research right? Because we were looking at the
Uh,
info.
you probably know more about those series than I do.
Yeah. Wait, you never heard of them before?
No, I know about them. It's just that I'm not like an avid fan, like an active fan of it. Like, I'm not often
Watching the
focused
whole.
around it.
I see. But yeah, if I correctly, I think Leonardo should have some scaling to the Triceratons and that black hole generator thing. Because I know he's been able to take hits from laser blast, and he also has really good reflexes. But I heard Jaden was like massively faster than light due to him participating in the legendary Ranger War and Super Mega Force, because he was alongside of Andros and Tommy Oliver, and they were supposedly to be faster than light, massively, like faster than light plus. So he's like faster than Leonardo, and he and Jaden's durability should be like planet level or large island level, while Leonardo probably sticks at like building or I'm not sure town. This it's kind of hard to research characters like those. I mean, I know Power Rangers, so I possibly know that.
Yeah,
And
change scaling can get complicated.
yeah, it's kind of hard for me to think about that. I also like to mention, I like to add some other details for the goofballs. The fight scenes that happened with Giratina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to add some new. I'd like to add something interesting to it. Let me just find the. Uh, you can still hear me, right? Okay. Okay. So, where is that clip? Where's that clip in particular?
We must find the greatest clip.
Yeah, the greatest clip. I actually, so I'm gonna state some canon things. So somehow Lucario knows the Satsu no Haru trick. I forgot the name of it, but he knows how to do that. That's a little.
He's also a Persona user since he summoned Regigigas.
Yes, it's supposed to be like JoJo's Bizarre, but it's a Persona reference, I guess. So
I mean,
that's
Personas are often named after like mythological figures, so I think Regigigas could fit with that.
yeah. So I guess I gave them different personalities from the other Lucario and Greninja. So Lucario's like the only normal one, and he's just trying to stay with the team, just trying to make sure nothing
Well,
goes
as
wrong.
normal gets.
Yeah, and Lucario's known the Satu no Haru for some reason, and he's a Persona user. And that's the funny thing there. And Greninja is just a silly goofster, and although Team Mewtwo is the silly goofster, Greninja's also the doofus, but he's also intelligent at most times, and he likes to take it seriously. He's supposed to be the Raphael of the group because I want to make him like really sarcastic and rude for his character, like the Raphael.
So, in other
Raph.
words, he'll eventually, from what I've heard about Raphael. Oh wait, I think I'm actually like mistaking one of the Ninja Turtles for another.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that's pretty much clear evidence that I'm not much of a TMNT fan.
Don't worry, I understand you, man. We all have those times. We all know when to Mr. the Beast. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. This is a stupid joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jokes are too crazy and too dumb, I guess. Hang on, let me try to get to that one clip. So and so so to now we're just gonna randomly scale these characters from what we know. So this version of Giratina can manipulate objects as and during the clip of when Mewtwo was holding the cheese, she manipulated the cheese to grow larger in size and crush Mewtwo. So is that like power manipulation or I'm trying
I'd
to remember.
say it's like size manipulation more likely.
So size manipulation. All right, that's
You know,
another
like
scaling.
shrink rays and growth rays.
Yeah, that could be true. Mm-hmm. That little thing Lucario did with the Satsu no Haru, the Akuma move. Yeah, he just acted. That's a new ability. I don't know. That's power scalable. Greninja. I guess a few feats are shown here. Some durability for Mewtwo, and some durability for Greninja Lucario, I believe. But the durability, a feat that's interesting for is probably Greninja's because he destroyed a black hole with a block of cheese, and the block of cheese is supposed to be the block of cheese that Giratina used to crush Mewtwo was like supposed to be the size of like a giant statue, but I'm not sure how tall a statue is.
I mean, there's no exact number since there's like that one a there's like that one statue, with like a humanoid figure that's like around human size, and then there's the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I would say the Statue of Liberty, but the cheese that Giratina manipulated with size manipulating power doesn't look
The
like the
Statue
Statue of
of
Liberty.
Cheesity.
Yeah, cheesity. So I say the cheese was supposed to be the size of a giant a house. So that'd be like small building level, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah. So Greninja destroyed a black hole with the size with a giant block of cheese that was the size of a house, like an average house, like a small building level.
Hmm.
So Greninja in this version can be able to destroy a black hole, which is I guess they're supposed to have Toon Force, but I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure how black
Yeah,
hole
I
scaling works.
yeah, same thing here. And then there's also the feat for Lucario for using Regigigas, his persona, to launch Giratina to a asteroid or a meteor. I'm not sure how high that would get him, but if that was like attack potential C or something, then I guess that could be considered like I'm not gonna say Storf level or star level because I don't know how, because like the meteor was far away, so we couldn't really tell the size. But when Giratina got close to it, it looked small. It looked really big compared to hers. Like when it shrunk down, like probably giant. If you pause it correctly, it's like giant size. The explosion was kind of big too, so you could say that it could be the size of like a normal asteroid, like a moon size asteroid. You know what I'm talking about, right? When he like uses Regigigas to launch Giratina to the
Yeah.
asteroid. Yeah, I say that could be. Let me check my tiering list real quick. I think that could be. I would say star level, but I'm not sure.
I'd say probably more around planet level.
Yeah, planet level. Probably a planet level
But
feat.
hey, you take the moon and you take the sun.
Yeah. So for the scaling, we all know Giratina can manipulate objects. Lucario, wait no, Greninja destroyed a black hole with a block of cheese the size of a small house, which is small, like a level thing, I guess. And Lucario sent Giratina to the asteroid that's just planet level so far. If I think I'm trying to figure it out.
Hmm.
And now we get to the big one. Mewtwo
Wait,
using
hold
that.
on. I've actually been thinking about that black hole feat, and how exactly did Greninja cause it to quote unquote die? Like, did it did he cause it to collapse under the mass of the cheese?
Well, perhaps. Well, the mass of the cheese could be also calculated, I think, by the gravitational force. Since it was pulling them in, like slowly. It was slowly pulling them in, and then when Greninja was unable to sustain it, like like they were trying to hold on for dear life. The black hole wasn't that big, but it had a strong gravitational force. When the screen's shaking, it's like supposed to describe how like strong it is. So
Yeah,
Greninja flew so fast, it he couldn't really react to it that much. And when he realized he was gonna die, he saw the block of cheese get pulled. So so he so he so when the black hole quote unquote died, it collided with the center of the black hole. Like it went inside of it like quickly, very fast, even though it doesn't show it. It goes in really fast, and then when it reaches the center of the black hole, like the middle, and a mass explosion erupts in it. And then once it happens, the black hole just dies. And then Greninja just lands safely, like nothing happened.
just another Tuesday.
Yep. So that black
A
hole feed
new
for
Tuesday.
yeah. So the Greninja's black hole feed could possibly depend on how it was destroyed. But for the black hole feed, what level what kind of tier would that put Greninja in for now? Like I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. All I know is that atomization can go crazy, and black holes can do that.
Yeah, black holes can just suck anything in and just die.
Not
Like you
even
want
light
that?
can escape.
Yeah, me same thing here. The big kabang here for this scene is the where Mewtwo says when Mewtwo launches this giant cheese. Now this giant cheese block that he used was supposed to be the size of an entire planet, like a planet-sized cheese. So I guess that's considered a planet level attack potential C or something. I don't really know.
Yeah,
A
I
planet
think that
level
would work.
a planet-sized cheese block of cheese. And that could be another feat for Giratina too, even though we barely got to see most of her stuff. She could have good durability due to that, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like
Mewtwo,
compare
the big cheese, max power!
Yes, the big cheese, max power. So yeah, that could be a planet level durability for Giratina. Surprisingly, because yeah, scaling is kind of crazy for this. The big now the question is for Necrozma. I have lots of plans for this dude. Yes, it will be amazing. But yeah, I think that's all the scaling we could have done. I think I also forgot to mention the when Mewtwo just launches his Lycan Rock to to the middle of nowhere. He just used his physical strength. Like he didn't do any powers. He just threw
I
him because
I
remember
think
he has. Hmm?
I think that's just like a form of battlefield removal.
Yeah, that could be true. I don't really know what battlefield removal, but I think I can agree on that.
Yeah.
He just removed them from that reality. I don't really know. So laser beams, I think that's like a
I
time
mean, I've
consumption.
heard of a Pokemon sneezing so hard that they went to another universe, so it's not the craziest type of feat of that caliber I've heard of.
Damn, that's crazy. The Pokemon lore is kind of confusing if you think about it. Even I can't describe it.
Oh, I actually got that from like Friend Lock.
Friend lock. Okay. Wow. So let me try to recall what we have. So far, Mewtwo just has battlefield removal. Giratina has size manipulation, and Mewtwo has survived a giant block of cheese the size of a house, if I'm correct. Lucario, Gren, Greninja destroyed a black hole using a block of cheese that was the size of a small house, which somehow doesn't make sense, but that's how life works. Like an Air Tuesday, Lucario destroyed. Lucario managed to destroy a meteor using Giratina as the weapon for some reason with Reggie Gigas, the stand use, and Mewtwo using the block of cheese, which is planet sized, and Giratina managed to survive that. So that I think that's all the scaling we can do for now. I think that's all the scaling we can do for this episode.
Okay. Although, if Mewtwo were to fight someone who has similar physical strength to him, and he tried his, like battlefield removal tactic, like punching him, would that still work?
Like if they had the same strength,
Like similar strength?
similar strength. Now, now, can I be real with you? I am unsure if he would just be able to launch him with ease, or he would just be able to resist that. So that could be that could be a hypothetical question. They either resist it, or they get launched, but they somehow recover. So that could be a little thing. The goofballs is just confusing, man. But yeah, that's
It's
kind
like
of
FNAF lore.
yes.
I mean,
I
they could also have a method of, like canceling the momentum caused by the attack.
like the speed.
Yeah, like stop the momentum that's sending them flying, like telekinesis.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. But the funny thing is, TMC doesn't like to use his powers a lot unless he needs to. But he just prefers weapons. That's his little gimmick. So don't expect him just to pull out a rocket launcher randomly. I was originally gonna have a little gag of I was gonna have like this little. I had like a planned gag for something, but I didn't want to make it because I got lazy. But it was supposed to be like an encounter with like a. It's like the Pokemon battles, so it's like an encounter. So they just
Yeah.
so he actually explores the wild Pokemon era, and they try to use like the actual game battle gimmicks. So when he was there, when they were just standing there, he was like, "Why aren't you doing anything?" And they were just waiting. It's like, dude, it's oh Lord. They would just stand still. So when he realized it was his turn, like the gimmick is like, okay, I'll play by your game. So he just pulls a rocket launcher, he just blows it up. I don't know. It's madness. It's madness. Like I'm gonna be real with you.
The wild
Madness.
Pokemon forgot to account for his held item.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, true. It is bizarre. It is goofy. Really goofy. And that's kind of
A
it.
really goofy movie.
Yes, a really goofy movie.
Oh, yep.
Oh my lord. Sometimes I don't really know. It's silly. It's silly. Like really silly.
That's why it's called the Goofballs.
Yep, that's why it's called the goofballs. And for that dimension scaling. So I think, but yeah, I think that's all the scaling we've done for the goofballs. So far, I guess that we just have some random. We have a little bit of feats, and we have a little bit of durability, and then I think one is just powers manipulation. So that's kind of the whole thing, and that's kind of it
I
for all
was
scaling.
thinking more of size manipulation rather than power
Oh,
manipulation.
okay, wait. Oh, wait. I actually said power manipulation. I meant size. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
I'm pretty sure the fight would be more one-sided in Giratina's favor if that was the case.
Yeah, I was a
And Mewtwo would probably have to bust out his mech suit.
yeah. I was also gonna. I also forgot to mention. I forgot she can use laser beams. You know that in the beginning when she was character ninja, and she summoned black holes, which I think is kind of regular for Giratina to do, since she summoned a black
I
hole underneath
believe they're
Lucario.
actually like portals of
Oh,
sorts.
portals! Oh, damn, portals. I guess.
Yeah. Well, that's just from what I know.
Yeah,
It might be different.
yeah, it might be different because again, these are like supposed to be different variants of the regular Pokemon. So like again, it takes place in the real Pokemon universe, but with an alternative take. But that also means that other Pokemons that are there have changed their own personalities, so they have actual different like variants and like ideas, like motives and like that. Give me a second, hang on.
Oh, don't worry, I understand.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think that's kind of all we did for the goofball scaling. Because otherwise, I don't really know if I missed anything. I'm gonna check just in case because if I did, then I don't really know, man.
Yeah, you missed the part where I believe Ninja said, "We are the goofballs!" and goofballs all over the place.
Jesus Christ, you are really big. You are really silly. Oh yeah, I also forgot the little cliffhanger for the end of the episode. I mean, Necrozma literally describes that he needs TMC Mewtwo's energy to destroy an entire multiverse. But when he says the miserable multiverse, I feel like he was trying to. I think I was trying to make him imply that he wants to kill the entire verse of TMC just by using his
The
powers. Because
multiverse is alive.
yeah, Necrozma's gimmick is like absorbing powers, but it's light. So like, so this version of Necrozma realized that absorbing light is no use to him, so he seeks other power. So he's like power hungry. Because
So,
like
how does that work?
I guess he just wants to be all powerful. He just like it could be maybe he can be maybe his backstory could be like it's like a normal Necrozma, but once he realized that just Sokolea and Lunala are not like good enough for him, he needs to go beyond. So he starts like absorbing other Pokemon's powers, like Yveltal, Xerneas, Palkia, Dialga, Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre. He can just like absorb any kind of Pokemon, no matter what. But
So, how does his absorption powers work?
maybe this could be for the future. But an example could be like,
Like,
well,
is
maybe
life a life energy in the TMC multiverse?
I'm trying to describe it. Yes, because how does Necrozma fuse with Solgaleo and Lunala? Like, does
Hold
it
on,
just
let me check.
do they just like collide like a Dragon Ball Z fusion, or does Necrozma just like grab them and absorb the energy with like powers or something? Or does it like require some kind
It
of stone?
supposedly drew an energy called solar fusion energy.
Oh, solar fusion. Solar fusion. Oh, all right, I see.
Right. Oh, and it's supposedly due to their light-related bodies.
Okay, sorry for the long absence. I guess for this version of Necrozma, if I wanted to make a describe of how he like does the how he absorbs the powers, the soul drain ability for TMC's Omega form, maybe it could be similar to that, but it only absorbs the energy, not their soul. So like if he absorbs a being that can destroy planets, they would they would still have their other powers, but he wouldn't be able to use that specific power of destroying planets. So that person can still fly or attack, but they can't just use that power that makes them destroy planets. So he only absorbs powers that are specified clearly, like detailed, full on detail.
So, in other words, if I just shot like a random fireball at him, I'd still be able to shoot like fireballs in a different fashion.
I guess for kinetically. I mean, it's supposed. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how the absorption power works thing, but I think I'm starting to get into more detail. So if you can shoot fireballs, but you can't just shoot fireballs from the way you do it, like something out of your hand, you just had to do it. I don't know. It's kind of different. It's again, I'm new to this kind of power stuff, but I think I'm starting to understand it more throughout details. So yeah, it could work.
So,
Yes, I know it doesn't make sense. Don't worry. It's again new. It's new to this.
yeah, you're
But yeah,
still
oh
new to this kind of stuff.
yes, nice pun. But yeah, overall, I think that's kind of all we got for the goofballs, just scaling the characters
Yeah.
and
Although, how potent is Necrozma's power absorption? Like, is it spammable per se, or does he have to like weaken a target in order for it to work?
weaken the target. Well, supposedly for this version, I think it could be spammable, but I think he just prefers to weaken them first and then absorb the power.
So, in other words, if he ever got bloodlusted, the multiverse would be like doomed.
Hypothetically, yes, but that would depend if TMC would stop holding back or not until if he realized that Necrozma is literally trying to kill everything that exists in that universe or
Hmm.
multiverse. I don't know.
You know, I'm sort of getting like Goku Black vibe from Necrozma.
Yeah, this version of Necrozma. Yeah, trust me. When the final
Mortals, sinners, prepare for divine justice.
yes, yes, that could be. Maybe I can add as a reference, but just different. That would be really kind of a cool reference for it. But yeah, the goofballs would be starting to
Better get a
expand.
reverse flash too.
Yeah, Reverse Flash too. Sorry, was that important? Yep, that's kind of it. So I think we've researched everything throughout
Oh,
the
if
set.
you're, I actually thought of something. If you're like having trouble like working in how Necrozma supposedly gained the ability to absorb like more than light and can now absorb powers, there could be like a certain item he does it with, and that could be like a sort of weakness that it could be taken away.
I mean, yeah, that could possibly be theoretically possible. But maybe I was thinking about more putting it in his genetics. Like he just, he just maybe he's like practice using that power. He's trained to like learn how to do power absorption, how to manipulate it or something. Like maybe he was training or something. That could be the reason. So that could be thing. Maybe life stealing could count too. So like, but yeah, it might be only power absorption. I don't know. I'll have to
Wait,
see
what would
what.
happen if I attacked him with like a dark type attack? Would he be able to absorb that? Since you know his whole thing is like absorbing light.
Yeah, absorbing light. Well, the normal Necrozma, yes, it could hurt him if you dark. But for the TMC version of Necrozma, aka TGB. Wait, do we just say Mewtwo's life or TG the goofballs Necrozma, or do we just do TMC Necrozma in
I'm
general?
I don't I don't know.
I think for the verse, we should just do TMC Necrozma to make it more like it's part of the canon. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think that could work. But for TMC Necrozma, maybe it could be like it can act like okay, so it's like it stops absorbing light since it finds it useless now, and it wants to absorb other powers and life energy. So maybe it could resist it, but he could have good reaction speed, so that could be good for like an advantage. Because I have something planned for episode 5 is there is like gonna be something special because there's only gonna be 10 episodes of the Goofballs and there's not gonna be another season because then you're gonna get Mewtwo's life, but I'm not sure the plans. So I'm gonna try to continue making a script for episode 3 that will slowly lead up to episode 5, which I'm just saying will be the whole entire fight scene
okay.
for the encounter.
So if I were to like, here's a hypothetical. If I were to
Yes.
like punch Necrozma really hard, would he be able to absorb my punch?
Although he can absorb powers, he can still take physical hits from that
But can he
from the
absorb the physicality from that hit?
physicality. Like would it go through him or would it just blow off?
I'm
No,
talking about
no,
like the kinetic energy from the attack.
he won't be able. He can't absorb that.
Oh, so I guess we have a weakness for him then.
So
He ain't got hands.
he can still punch physically. He can still like attack, but he can but like everyone else, he can just be punched physically. So like you don't need like some kind of special. You could just punch him, and he would actually take damage from that. But if he
So,
gets too serious, he will just cut you in half, I guess.
so in other words, if so, you were if someone was to try and beat him, their best strategy would be to use powers that are like supporting towards themselves and themselves specifically, and just using them to like boost their physicality.
Yes, booster physicality. Yes. So like it's like in human, like humans can still like take hits. Well, some can, some don't, I guess. But yeah, it just depends on his durability. But yeah, they can. But yeah, they can still take hits. He can still take hits from like physical punches and kicks. But
But the
he might.
energy needs to be like released as an attack in order for him to like absorb it.
Yes, it has to be in like an attack. So like if you charge up your fist, then he can absorb that. But if you don't, you can just punch him physically with no powers, and then you can do it. But if you boost your strength, like if you boost your fist, make a giant or attack, then you he can still be hurt by that physicality. I don't know. I'm still gonna try to work on this character. But yeah, so episode 5 will be the encounter for Necrozma and the Goofballs meet them for the first time, and then the 10th episode will be the climatic fight finish. So the
I'm
rest of the episodes,
assuming this is what the raged form was for, since that like has a counter against power absorption.
yeah, and but but there is going to be a plot twist. But I will say that for the future. For now, I think I'm gonna have to go now. But yeah, we already did the
Thanks, see ya.
scaling.
Had a fun time.
You too. Thank you everyone for watching the
You too.
podcast.
I see ya.
Adios.